literary people that are full of shit. I'll tell the eyebrows. I was at a conference, so I teach. Yeah, okay, I teach. I teach at a prison education program. And so my guys come home and they get, it's beautiful work, except sometimes, writers love to play a white hero, or they like to kind of act like, they discovered people like Columbus and shit. And one of the fiction writers at this conference referred to prison as a sacred space. This is an institution that was built as a result of, in place of, in many cases, chattel slavery, right? It's the one institution for which they did not ban slavery and involuntary servitude. But it's a sacred space, according to this dude. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? It's because I teach someone how to write, it's sacred. But you can't call that a sacred space and not expect someone to write a poem about your ass. So this call for the white fiction writer who referred to prison as a sacred space, a literary analysis. Sacred space. Prison. A guided meditation of 25 years to life. The blessing of the offender rehabilitation coordinator. The prayer of St. Ambrose. A permanent fellowship to the Upstate Writers Conference. Solitary confinement. Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Ted Kaczynski. Conversion narrative. A poet leaves prison and slips into the mind jail. A poet leaves prison to push a shopping cart full of his sudden worldly possessions. A memoirist whose writings demonstrate journalistic aplomb and nothing more. Sings transitional housing. Sings shared facilities among brothers he loves unconditionally. Sings exactly like the Pope, who is after all a Jesuit and therefore a believer in liberational pedagogy. Acting Commissioner God. Deputy Commissioner Allah. Literary movement, 1215, 115, 215, 315. A literary history of incarceration. The supreme fiction of the conditional release date. The variable foot of lockdown and call out. Postmodern poetics of the carceral state. The El Barrio School of Poetry. The Harlem School of Poetry. The Claremont BX School of Poetry. East New York School of Poetry, the Watson School of Poetry, the Bushwick School of Poetry, Mott Haven Magical Realism, Black Mountain One Train at 125th Street, woo! Auntie Poesía, Nassau County Sheriff's Office. Major works produced: Gentrification, an epic; Colonization, a crown of sonnets; Lawrence applies for educational release in the state of New York, a farce in 3 parts; NYC Housing Connect, a hero's journey; Henri doesn't live here anymore; One Flew Over Shawangunk and never came back; One Flew Over Eastern and never came back; One Flew Over Queensboro and never came back; One flew over his parole appointments and never came back; One flew over methadone and decided he didn't need to come back. Literary terminology. Protagonist, the CO. Antagonist, the professor. Unreliable narrator, the Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. Oh, I see something recorded, very nice. And now for all, no word on clearance, no word on background check, no word on your LCTA application. Anachronism, tuberculosis testing. Omniscient narrator, parole officer. Epistolary, letter to the parole board, letter to the parole officer, letter to the judge, letter to the HRA. Shakespeare, tomorrow, and 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 tomorrow. Irony, re-entry.